How you doing, Jarrett?
I'm all right.
Is that a whole glass of vodka?
That's water
It's
because
vodka.
it's
It's 11:30.
noon.
You've got a problem, Jarrett. This isn't a podcast. This is us.
Yeah,
This is an intervention.
I just showed up to a podcast with a glass full of vodka.
And nothing. No
Just
chaser.
nothing. It's just vodka.
It's actually just rubbing alcohol. Oh man, Gator Belts and Patty Melts and Monte Carlo. Did you say it the line out loud when you bought the shirt?
No, but I have worn it in front of a couple of my friends,
Okay.
and they have no idea what it means.
Are they all
And
white?
then I was like, "You are white." True.
Yeah.
I guess you wouldn't know.
That's the exact.
But which isn't even fair because they should. Because
Yeah.
it's not like Outcast is like a black mystery.
Oh, let me give you a shout out to. It's not a black mystery. Everyone. First off, "Hey Ya" is like the national anthem. I haven't seen one person that
Yeah,
fucking
for like
hasn't.
a year and a half.
Yeah.
The only song that ever played was "Hey Ya." So.
Right. Shouts out to Slippery Pete Barrett. Love this shirt. It's got his sponsors on the back.
Got that knockout sauce.
Oh yeah. The
He doesn't
KO
say it
sauce.
like that, but maybe he should.
He doesn't. He should. And we will trademark that. So Barrett, if you're watching this,
Mhm.
we want our piece.
Clip the audio
VOD.
of that, and just next time you're in an interview,
Right.
pull out your phone awkwardly when someone asks a question, and just play that audio.
Play that
track and
audio.
Answer the question. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what we're here for. We're here to awkwardly not answer any of the questions that you have.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what else are we here for?
We're built different. So the big jump is here. Israel Adesanya finally makes the jump to 205. It's an awesome card. We're gonna break this card down, but before we even get there, right? I have to do a bit, right?
Okay.
Everyone, all of these shows, all the MMA shows, I've been doing a lot of homework. They all have bits, right? We got to be part of the bit currency era. You know what I mean?
Gotta be part of the big currency.
Yeah, we're gonna be part of the bit currency. We gotta add our value, right?
Okay.
So today's bit, right? I thought very hard about this, but not really. I only have like 3. But we should visit the best combat sports excuses, and the reason why I chose this bit today is because, in bar of recent things that Paulo Costa has said in regards to his loss, he's come up with it. I've heard just about everything. He's come up with a lot of reasons why. He didn't feel right and he wasn't whatever the problem is. But now, what he told his employer and the world and the possible rematch of, which may not happen now because of what he said, he told everybody that he was too drunk to have performed the way he wanted to perform. He said he drank too much wine before the fight. So I love it because it's like you're telling your employer whom you want to remain employed with on the biggest stage of your career. Which, I mean, it's not true. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not true. I'm like 90% sure it's not true. But it's like it's worse than just making up a lie that had nothing to do with something. Why would you tell your employer who gave you an opportunity to fight on the biggest stage in your career that you were drunk? Like, why would he give you another... Like, let's just assume Dana took him serious. Why would he give him another shot? It's self-sabotage all the way around. But it's brilliant. I love it. Izzy was even making fun of him in the Embedded this weekend on YouTube.
It's like I mean, it's hilarious. First of all,
it's hilarious. Shouts out
Let's
to
get that out
comedy.
of the way. It's a fucking joke and hilarious.
Right.
I don't know if it's true or not. I can't imagine it's true. Because it sounds fake as hell. It sounds exactly like what you would say when you have no excuse but need an excuse.
Yeah.
And it sounds like an excuse someone who just has to have an excuse that isn't "I just lost"
Right.
would make.
Hey, listen, a lot of things happen to the fighter's psyche when you get knocked unconscious and then someone air humps your behind when you're on the floor unconscious.
But it isn't like you don't just like separate from reality. Like
maybe for him it did. Maybe we're looking at a disillusioned Paulo Costa now. He might never be the same.
He doesn't want to have just straight up lost to this dude because it's the man wrote you in a death note and then humped you when he knocked you out. Like he embarrassed you, and it's difficult to come to terms with the fact that that dude beat you decisively and is probably better than you, and the way in which he beat you was upsetting.
Yeah.
I get all those things, but
Right.
what isn't true, what you don't do 6 months later, is tell everyone you were hungover because you had wine the night before. That's not like, and he was making excuses like out the gate, really, but
Right.
like they were normal. I just lost, a day ago ass excuses.
Right.
6 months later, you had time to come up with something.
I think the worst thing for him is that he was 100% healthy. He had fully prepared. He had watched all the tape.
Saying he was in the best shape of his life on the way in.
Right.
So like,
so that's what makes it worse. That was his best. So maybe he knows just psychologically, like, there's nothing more I can do. Like, his skill level is just too low in comparison to Israel Adesanya.
Which is sad. Like,
sad for everybody involved.
Part of being like the kind of legendary fighter that you end up becoming when you fight at a high level for so long is recognizing that sometimes you just took an L and there's really no way out of it. Like you just fucking got.
Right.
Like, you didn't hear DC after he got starched twice by John Jones figure out a way to say, he was, I don't know, his Viagra wasn't working, so he took Viagra the night before, so his dick was too hard, and
right.
Like, he just fucking got knocked out.
Jones did the opposite. He's like, these substances made me perform better.
Right. Jones was like, I was on coke when I beat them. But like, and it happens a lot. People say a lot of shit.
Say some wild shit.
That's
funny. Why I have a whole list of things.
I'm not even sure this is the worst.
No,
but it's definitely the worst in a while.
It's good. It's good. The best in recent memory,
and one you're not going to forget.
No.
And it's funny when you brought this up, I had like 4 like out of my head, like off the rip, because this happens enough.
Right.
And if it gets dumb enough, it just never leaves your brain.
That's why it's such a great sport, because it just does like, on top of it being an awesome sport to view, the fighters' lives are so interesting leading up to and after and during, and seeing how they function as human beings, like having won or lost. So the lost part of it has developed, like some people, sometimes you got to pick your, like Donald Cerrone handles losses better than I've ever seen anybody. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm just gonna keep riding ATVs and drinking beer. Right. He keeps going.
I'm gonna jump on a plane and then jump out of that plane tomorrow.
Right.
So
right.
Yeah, he definitely is well adjusted.
Yeah.
Some people aren't. Even people you'd expect to be.
Right.
I think one of my favorite, just really bad excuses, is a Rampage Jackson excuse for why he lost to Sakuraba.
Here we go.
He actually didn't. This is one of those, like, 6 years later, somebody asked him about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then now there was a conspiracy theory that's been brewing, like, for those 6 years that I guess people around him had been, like, corroborating and got him gassed up on.
Right.
Because he believes that he was poisoned by room service.
Jesus Christ.
In the hotel the night before, which I guess, and he was like, feel a little sick on the way in, but he was like, I'm not gonna, whatever, it's gonna go fight anyway because I'm a super tough guy. Which
is entirely possible, given that in Cuba, remember those guys were having like those weird, like, fucking Metal Gear Solid microwaves that were like frying diplomats? So that could very well have happened. It could have very well happened, bro. So I'm on his side.
It could have happened. I just don't think that's what happened. I think what happened is Sakuraba beat him.
Right. But I think as a society, we owe it to these people to fully humor all of their excuses so they keep making them,
Yeah. And I think this was, let's see, Sakuraba beat Quentin Jackson, I want to say 2001, maybe?
Okay.
And this was like a rear naked choke in the first round, so it was beat.
Yeah.
So 6 years later, 2007, he is in the UFC at this point. Rampage.
Right.
And I guess he's fighting for the if he's not fighting yet, he could be fighting for the 205 belt. So I guess he's on a upswing, and people are asking him, "Yo, like, what happened?"
Mm-hmm.
Like, either this is right before he lost to Forrest Griffin, or right after. So it's funny that people even asked him, or maybe this is like on his way. Like, I guess 2007 is probably like when he entered. So like maybe it was part of like he was gonna go fight Matt Lindland or like Marvin Eastman or whoever the fuck his first fight was, and someone was like, "Yeah, last time we saw you, you were in Pride. What the fuck happened?" He was like, "Nah, man. What happened was
just like this."
And then instead of dying, I just lost the fight, but like it would have killed anybody else because like I'm Rampage.
Right.
Which isn't what he said, quote
But
unquote.
that's
I'm
the
paraphrasing.
that's like that's you're paraphrasing.
It's probably close to what he said.
Right. I love it. Do you have? You said you had 4. So do you have more? Because I have.
We have more than 4. I have the Rampage one, which one I really like.
Okay, give me
I like
2 more.
the GSP one where BJ Penn lost to GSP, and he blamed GSP A for being on steroids, but B for being too greasy.
Yeah, wasn't the rumors like he was like bathing in like a bathtub full of Vaseline or some shit like that?
Well, the problem
was
was he was like the cut man would Vaseline him up, and then his corner would like rub him down with Vaseline.
Right.
And it wasn't illegal at the time. And no
Right.
one even noticed until this fight.
Right.
And like the next year, like they were like super cops about like how oily GSP was when he was fighting. It's funny because it was the only time I'd seen one of these complaints like reflect in the behavior of the officials afterwards.
They brought like the Jeff Nowitzki of like anti-greasers. Just,
like dudes would
slide
like
a
the
finger
official
down
would
him.
come over with like a towel and like wipe him before every round.
Which
it was
does nothing because it's grease. It just actually that might make it worse. It just spreads it all over his body.
Right. So it's funny that was that had like ripple effects.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it would have saved BJ Penn.
No.
Really?
Probably not.
But it also, he might have put too much Vaseline on.
Nothing. That's true. But at this stage, nothing saving BJ Penn.
True. Yeah. Hey, this is UFC 94.
Yeah.
So this is like the beginning of the end of like the losing streak for him.
Christ, man. Hardball.
There's when Kobe Covington went like MAGA.
Yeah,
like QAnon after losing to Kamaru Usman,
which is great.
He was like the referee was paid
by Clinton, the Clinton Foundation.
Yeah, this is a fake. The knockout was fake.
Yeah.
He blew a whistle too early.
Right. Candace Owens was calling Kamaru Usman a pussy or a bitch or something.
My knockdown was actually me just slipping.
Right,
he didn't hit me in the face and knock me over. That's
my jaw was only slightly broken. It's not that big of a deal. You're making a bigger deal than it is.
I think the best, though, I mean, the best in a way that it isn't an excuse so much as like the absolute truth was when Ruiz had the rematch against Anthony Joshua and just got fucking smoked. Yeah. And he was like, I was partying too hard.
Right.
And didn't train.
I mean,
I believe you.
Yeah, I definitely believed him. I definitely believe he didn't. I definitely believe this no-name Mexican fighter, a Mexican-American fighter.
The bag by upsetting maybe the biggest name in boxing at the time.
Right.
Just did not take the idea of a rematch seriously because he was busy spending his winnings. So he doesn't have to go to a meatpacking plant anymore.
Right. Right. Fucking,
it's
what's
just
his name?
He's just like, yeah, bro, I forgot.
You know what's fucked up, though? Andy is a really good boxer. Like, what's his name? Deontay Wilder even called him out recently, too. He's like, the only people I'm interested in fighting is Joshua, rematch with Fury, Andy Ruiz, and then there was someone else he listed. So, like, people recognize, like, he's a blue chip boxer. He beat fucking Anthony Joshua. He knocked Anthony Joshua out, you know? So, like, I'm going to give him his respect. But, hey, you get the rematch, fucking go and train, huh?
Maybe take it seriously.
Maybe take it seriously.
Recognize that Anthony Joshua didn't take you seriously, which is why you won. Now he's going to take you seriously on the rematch.
I mean, like, and if you rewatch that fight, like Anthony Joshua respects his power still. He just fucking outpointed him. Like he was just He
didn't think he had the work. He thought he was just gonna coast.
Right, and he's like, wait a minute, I'm like way more athletic than you, and you're fat. And then he just...
What if I tried?
What if I just boxed? Anthony Joshua might have been drunk. He didn't say it, but if he said that he was drunk the night before, I was like, you know what? I believe you.
Yeah, you're right.
You were drinking the wine right before the fight.
And you mentioned Deontay Wilder. He had a good one too. When he said his walk-in gear was too heavy.
Fuck, you stole one of mine.
So he was like fatigued.
That was my favorite. Well, I mean, we'll talk about that. Like he said that it was like let's address a couple of things, right? So, like, we can address the validity of what he said, right? The validity of what he said is that his costume was too heavy. Maybe that's true, because that was an elaborate 50-pound fucking costume. Whose fault is that, though? At the end of the day, whose fault is that? That's the first thing, right? So there is a validity to what he said. Why it's hilarious is because he's a 200-pound man, and he's 6'7", and he was, like, shown, like, for the last few weeks, like, doing, like, weighted vest training to get heavier. Having a new powerlifting regimen. It would have been more intelligent for him to say, I wasn't used to fighting with this frame. You know what I mean? Like, putting on 20 pounds, 30 pounds of muscle in response to Fury doing the same thing. I can understand where you're not used to fighting that way. Deontay Wilder is like it usually fights at like 200 pounds, almost sub 200 pounds. He makes just the mark for heavyweight. I think he came in at 225 or something like that. That's a huge jump. If he had said, I was too heavy and I didn't fight my fight how I normally fought and he intimidated me a little bit, I would have been like, you know what, that's a valid complaint. But saying the costume is too heavy is beautiful.
Because you would say that he doesn't want to tip his hand and say and like give Tyson Fury too much credit.
Right.
Because he doesn't want to seem like he was unprepared, or he doesn't want to seem like he is somehow lesser physically.
Right.
Even if that's the truth.
Right.
But the replacement answer can't be, oh, my costume was too heavy. Because what the fuck do you think that says about you?
The costume I had customly made and fitted to my body, which I've tried on many times before.
I think fitted multiple times probably because it's made of diamonds.
I think he claimed that he didn't do it, but I don't believe that because it's like you had to. That's no one. You can't just go to Walmart and pick that up.
Right. Like, who has a custom-made costume and doesn't have it fitted all the time? Like, you're out here making a show out of you showing up. Like, I have a hard time believing that this wasn't the thing you thought about the most. Right. Like, you would train twice a day and then go get in the email about what's going on with this costume.
Right. I love it.
That shit wasn't cheap.
No, no. That had to have been like $100,000 or close to it or something like that.
At least.
Because it had like a bunch of gems on it and shit like that. And then tagging on to that, he had another few excuses. That was one of the excuses. The other excuse is that Tyson Fury had egg weights in his gloves. The idea that your hands wouldn't be rubble after having fucking 5-pound egg weights in your fucking gloves, bro. He wouldn't be able to hold the microphone.
He wouldn't be able to tie the glove. Like it would be very obvious if he had egg weights in your gloves. Anyone who's worn gloves can tell you.
Right.
It'd be very obvious.
You couldn't, like, tie it around. Like, bro, his hands would be shattered on the first punch.
Saying he has egg weights in his gloves also then implies that it's the shit was rigged against him.
Right.
Which is silly.
That's not true. Because
I watched the fight.
Right. Right. I don't know.
Hit in your face.
Showtime doesn't have, like, if there was a Showtime fight, right? I'm pretty sure it was a Showtime fight.
I want to say it was, yeah.
Either of those guys, they're not, like, Showtime exclusive guys. Like, a lot of their fights are on Showtime. Right. But they're not like
incentive for Showtime to rig this fight.
Yeah. Right. Usually, like when you talk about promotional, what's the word? Promotional bias. Usually, they have a guy they've been bringing up and building, and that's not the case for Showtime. They don't have a vested horse in the race. The vested horse in the race is to make as much money as humanly possible. So
also, you can almost see the promotional bias on the way up to the fight, and that wasn't necessarily the case here. Like they clearly wanted. I mean, Tyson Fury was probably a bigger draw globally because I think people just want to see giant white dudes like be heavyweight champions.
Right.
But I don't think they were necessarily pushing him in an disproportionate way.
No, I don't think so either.
Because everybody knew this fight could have gone either way, and they were treating it like that in every promotion I saw.
Right. I mean, Showtime does what Showtime does. Any big network is going to do. They did like pieces for Fury. They did pieces for Wilder. One wasn't favoring the other. They covered both of their lives pretty good leading up. Talked about what Wilder had to do to get to where he was at. Talked about Fury, about his layoff and then coming back. Like, obviously, it's easier to sell Fury's story because it's like the craziest comeback story in recent memory for boxing, at least, where he was like addicted to coke and eating cheeseburgers and drinking and doing all this crazy shit.
And everybody was like, this guy's washed up and he went on like a 10-fight tear. And
Right. And then he comes back off the couch and fucking fights Deontay Wilder. Like I mean, in itself, it's a great story, but Wilder coming from, hardship himself and, wanting to support his family, it wasn't unbalanced. Like when you watch the UFC and Conor McGregor's on the ballot, you can pretty much assume that all the shine and all the promotional, shit is going to go towards McGregor, and even in the last fight for Poirier, but that might have just been the kind of person Poirier is. Like, he's not really like the camera guy, so or being in front of the camera guy. But regardless, if you're not the promotional champion, you can see that the UFC is going to try to elevate their champions more, or former champions more than the other.
It's funny that it's, again, just such a silly thing that it's hard to take anything else seriously.
Yeah.
About the entire situation.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, how are they doing? How are you doing, Deontay?
Not well. Not handling it well.
Have you sat it out?
It's hard, bro. It's hard. It's hard being undefeated 40 plus times, getting paid millions of dollars, and then some guy fucking comes off the couch and knocks you unconscious, in your own game. I can understand how psychologically that could fuck you up. And then he'll that just takes time. And when you're a millionaire and you're already a fucking top level athlete, it's all right, the time is to get better is faster, because wait a minute, I can't be sad. I have a $6 million car outside. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then I can still train and I can still support my family, and so he'll get back on the horse. And they're already in talks about getting that fight back. I have another Boxing World one. This is one of my favorite. I think this is the best one of all time, because when Canelo addresses it in the press conferences, it's tongue in cheek, which is hilarious that it's tongue in cheek because it's about steroids. But his steroid usage is kind of undersold. They're why are you on steroids? He's at street vendor tacos.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy out here, dog. You ever had tacos in Mexico? Shit's wild.
They're delicious, but they've got steroids, bro. I don't know. That's not how he talks about it.
What the fuck was I supposed to do?
I don't know how to do it.
Not eat steroids?
Right. How was I supposed to know these street vendor tacos? It's just great.
He got the fine and everyone just forgot about it. They're whatever.
Yeah.
Steroids or whatever. And he got suspended for a period of time that is about the same length between his fights anyway.
It was 6 months.
And the zone was who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You're still going to be the face of this company, and you still have a large ownership in it, and we're still going to promote the next
fight. So we don't care if you take heroin before the fights, okay? We paid you $200 million. You're going to fight.
We are reeling in these fucking feeder fights for you to kill people on this promotion. I need you to do that.
I think Canelo's trying to pull out of that contract.
I think last year I heard that something was wrong, or he was not interested anymore, which is weird because I don't know what. I thought he had a significant ownership in it.
That's what I thought too.
I thought this was Golden Boy for him.
Right. And what's strange is the fights they're giving him are not really the hardest fights. So I don't know why he would not want to just make a cool $200 million, unless it's just the competitor spirit in him and he thinks he can get better competition elsewhere. But I
wonder if you think it has to be a money. I don't know. It
is
could
it though? $200 million over 6 years? That's fucking ridiculous,
maybe
bro.
I'm being cynical and saying I don't see why it wouldn't be a money situation. But
12 fights.
Yeah, maybe he just wants less fights, or maybe he wants better. I don't know that he wants better fights, because he can get. I imagine he can get any fight he wanted.
Yeah, they could talk anybody to go into the zone.
Right, I don't know
the details.
What the limitation is, or what would be the friction? Because it seems like everything is
swelling,
bending over backwards to do Canelo's bidding in that organization.
Right. Yeah, it looks like it's happened. November 9th.
Did he just fight for
on DAZN? He reached an agreement with the Golden Boy Promotions of DAZN to be released from his $365 million contract. So he's exited the contract. As to why, I'm not sure. Let's see. He filed a civil suit against his promoter and broadcast partner in September over alleged failure to deliver on the terms of his Mammoth 11-fight deal, which was signed in 2018. At the time, ESPN reported the agreement was the richest contract in sports history. Has not fought since. Okay, so DAZN might have been fucking up. So maybe they didn't pay him when he was supposed to get paid. But they resolved the lawsuit. So he could just be strong-arming them for more money. Or
he could have finally got paid what was owed, but doesn't want to risk going through this again.
Right. Maybe they like lambast him or do some foul shit to him, and especially because he does steroids and they know it. So like they'll just use it. So they'll just use it against him for whatever reason. I have another article here. What went wrong? So he's seeking $280 million in damages. Jesus Christ! 2 years ago. Here's what we know. Fresh off his victory. The union carried benefits for both Alvarez and DAZN. HBO's Alvarez's former broadcast home was leaving the boxing business at the end of the year. Produced ads featuring Alvarez and built out the rest of its roster. The streaming service promised to shift the way boxing was consumed by the masses. After beating Rocky Fielding in 2018, it became a 3-division. Tell me what it is! Fuck! Doing all this extra writing that no one cares about.
Doing journalism.
Yeah, enough of the extra journalism. Tumultuous one before prize why. Sign an exclusive fight with Disney. Okay, so there might be a little haterade from Alvarez because they said this is happening right around when they signed Golovkin as well too. Many people believe that Golovkin had beat Canelo the first couple times that they had fight, and I mean if you go back and watch those fights, it's pretty clear that Golovkin won, in my opinion at least. Saying, it sounds like you made a representation to DAZN that I was going to do things that are not in my contract with you, and I'm not required to do. So they're also trying to strong arm him he's claiming they're trying to strong arm him into doing things promotional wise that he didn't sign up for in the contract. So it's nothing like it's just a bunch of he said she said. So if maybe something happened behind closed doors, and we're just kind of seeing like things they're not willing to talk about, I guess, publicly.
Sure,
couldn't tell
definitely something happened behind closed doors. It's just, I think these are things that happen behind closed doors, like petty stuff on top of like actual contract stuff.
Yeah.
If they're trying to get him to do shit sign his contract, then yeah, get the fuck out. Like whatever. I don't have a problem with that.
Right.
I don't think you should be doing things that aren't in your contract.
Right.
But
even if it's like an obscene amount of money they paid, you paid that much because that's how much you value Canelo. That's his value to boxing. Like he's regarded as one of the best boxers in the entire world. So the money is just a figure, right? But I guess the stance, if what Canelo is saying is true, and if you follow the whole Taco saga, then who's to say how truthful he is? We don't know how truthful he is. I don't know him as a person. He seems nice, but. I'm usually anti-establishment in these cases because usually they like fuck around and do things they're not supposed to be doing. So maybe in the case of Canelo, they got a little bit out of hand and, they figured they can, dick him around because of the money they paid him. And maybe he says, fuck you, I'll go somewhere else and you're going to pay me money anyway. Right.
I think some organizations believe that since there is a huge amount of money in a contract that they're offering, that gives you the space to, abuse a relationship or an agreement that you have between yourself and a contractor. And like, listen, if his agreement says he does this one thing and they want you to do something else, like you should probably stick to the writing because you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you get exploited because of pay outside of the terms of your contract. Because when you make it weird, you start doing these favors.
Mm-hmm. The next thing you know, start
expecting the favor.
Right. You end up in a fucking, bikini shoot that I'm sure Canelo would not want to be involved in any way. And now you have an OnlyFans for DAZN. And then you don't know how you got there. Right. You know what I mean?
Who can and who amongst us hasn't been in a situation where you have a sudden OnlyFans and you don't know why you're spreading your cheeks for $10 a month or whatever.
DAZN can't seem to hold on to their guys though. They had what's his name? They had the Paul brothers on there. Then they hit the dash and went to Triller. Mm-hmm. They signed this massive deal with Canelo. Like, what are they doing over there? What's going on, DAZN? Can't hold on to your guys. What's going on? But they didn't sign a bunch of people though. So they signed like Amir Khan and like Ryan Garcia and all these other famous guys.
Yeah, I don't think they're struggling for talent. I think they're trying to figure out how to turn this promotion thing into something bigger because they have to now, like, they're competing with not just other boxing promotions. They're competing with anyone who has money at this point. If the Pauls don't have their own promotion by the end of next year, I'd be surprised. Yeah. And they're just YouTubers. Right. I say just YouTubers, but they're also incredibly wealthy and have a large reach and are their influencers in their own right and brands in their own right.
Yeah, so. they have a media empire. Say what you want about them. I mean, I don't know about Logan, but Jake Paul's obviously taking it way more serious. I'm more interested to see what happens when he fights Ben Askren. I think we went over this before, in regards to what's gonna do, what are they gonna do moving forward? Like if he beats Ben Askren, are they gonna fight? Like, is he gonna fight like a bigger guy or a bigger name guy or an actual boxer or whoever the case is? I'm interested to see what happens there. We get to see a little social experiment, just somebody like who isn't a fighter, who's athletic, taking some time to train with the best in the world to fight actual fighters now. So this is gonna be his first actual fighter.
Yeah, I guess you don't really see it from that perspective before. I think you just never get an opportunity to see how obnoxious these people are before they become fighters. Normally, Jake Paul being like a kind of a shitty like bro dude isn't necessarily different than many fighters.
Yeah.
You just don't see it on camera all the time.
Right.
Like, anyone who's trained with these people probably has met a Jake Paul in the past.
Bro, I know.
And they probably are fine fighters who become fine people. It's just, you don't have the prequel of like a whole YouTube full of dumb pranks and shit.
Yeah, just don't be like surprised when they fucking film themselves out next to a dead body. Like you should should expect this type of behavior. They're fucking chads. They have no idea how anything functions
on the internet soon.
Right.
It's just how this works.
Right. So far, no rape allegations. So far, no murder allegations. So if they're just pieces of shit on camera, that's as far as it goes. Whatever. I'm not paying. I'm gonna steal it. Like I'm not
buying that.
I'm not buying that garbage. I have
one
more.
I guess before we get to UFC.
Wait, hold on. One more. I have one more.
Okay.
And it's Yoel Romero, essentially blaming Israel Adesanya for being black.
Oh yeah. Which was like a really weird, like, use of language.
And he like bullied his interpreter to repeat word for word what he said. And he's like, "Please don't make me do that."
Like awkward black on black crime.
Yeah.
International black on black crime.
It's like, Yoel, you basically look like a black guy. Just in case you didn't know.
Well, when you come here, they're going to assume you're black.
Right.
Until you speak, and then they'll just think you're black still.
Right.
They don't give a fuck.
Right. Or actually, they might just think you're Haitian.
Right.
You might just be Haitian.
You're just a tropical black dude.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, still isn't necessarily not true. You gonna tell me Anderson Silva isn't black?
Yeah, I mean, come on, look at him. He looks like a member of Onyx. Both of them look like members of Onyx.
Yeah, they're bald.
They're bald, angry looking,
saying shit loud that no one understands.
Damn him!
I mean, like, if Anderson Silva screamed at you, it'd be funny because his voice is like very high pitched, but like he sounds like Mike Tyson on them.
Right.
But in Portuguese, which is just funnier.
Yes.
Yoel Romero, though, if he yells at you, it's probably scary.
Yeah. I would imagine. He does a lot of yelling over the corpses of the people that he beats. But what was the line? It was something like, I should have been more prepared for a runner because Israel Adesanya's ancestry is full of great runners, African runners, or some shit like that.
He made like the Kenyan runner joke.
Right.
Basically called him an African booty scratcher. Bringing
it back to the just like 2004 4chan days, like early 2004 4chan days. What if Yoel's QAnon? Anyone ever think of that?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, he's basically a super soldier made by the government.
That man's got a MAGA head somewhere.
He probably loves it. Okay, yeah, all right. Back to what you were saying. I'm sorry.
All right. Before we get into the actual event, I have a question.
Okay, here we go.
Is Khamzat retired? I have no idea.
So I wanted to bring that up too.
And then Dana White's like, nah.
No. Which is hilarious because like, it's funny when you get to see the dynamic of like certain businesses where they could just like decide when you're retired and when you're not. Like, nah, he's not retired. I'm retired. I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna fight anymore. Nah, you're not. No, with no other like explanation as to why he thinks that. He's like, he was just an animal and he keeps training and he says he's retired. Well, he's got irreversible damage to his lungs, so maybe he is retired. Nah, he loves to fight. Like, he'll be back. It's like, okay, like he just decided for him because when Dana wants you, he gets you, right. He said, boy, I likes you and I wants you.
I want you. I just don't know.
Don't make me take that butt, Kazuma.
It just doesn't seem that anyone knows what the fuck is happening there. Like, it seems to me that Kazuma is like done. He had a terrible experience with COVID that almost killed him, it seems like.
Right.
And his last fight and like this concept of his fight camps haven't been well,
No.
and he just doesn't want to do it anymore. I think he recognizes that like there may be a lot of pressure being put on him that he probably can't live up to. He's not going to be Habib, even though they come from the same region of the country or of the globe. He'd have to figure out how to make himself a superstar to compete in any capacity with like the kind of cult of personality that exists in the UFC. And then he have to deal with Dana White every day. Yeah. And like if he's not about that life, then he should probably leave. It just seems like he's not about that life.
Well, I feel like he is suited for those things, and I do think he could be as big as Khabib, if not bigger. It's just like his whole thing, and if you've like watched him speak, and if you've watched him fight, and if you watch him do all these things, he's like a very confident guy. If he doesn't have confidence in his ability because he got something out of his control that's affecting the way he fights, then I can completely see why he doesn't want to fight anymore. But my only point I'll make in counter argument to him, I guess almost in favor of Dana, and I don't think this is what Dana was like intending. I think he was just like, I'm gonna strong arm you and make you look silly until you come back and fight. He's like, honestly, I don't think he even gives a fuck about his health. Like, well, I can't say that. He flew him in and he had him, going on steroid and everything. But regardless, more towards Dana's point, I think that in especially this league in particular, and this sport in particular, everyone says they retire and they come back later. So like, not everyone. Some people just retire and like Ben Askren's not coming back. Well, I can't. Never mind. Like, because he's fucking boxing Jake Paul right now. Boxing, so. Right. So, never say never. I will always say that when I hear someone retire. When I hear people retire from rap and fighting, it's like, oh, for how long? Yeah. like you'll be fucking Jay-Z's retired like 10 times. Mm-hmm. Like he's world record in retiring finally. But as far as him retiring, like because of the lung injury issue, I just don't know the extent of it. No one really knows. Only Cosmat knows and those doctors know. So if it's bad enough for him to be like, let me take a step back from the sport and figure my life out, then maybe it is that bad. But I tend to believe, just because he's such a physical specimen, but although everyone's different, maybe he takes the time, he gets his confidence back. We're just looking at a low confidence fighter who was like a high profile fighter. That's what I think is more.
Or he
more
wants
often
to
than
fight. It could be the opposite. Maybe he wants to fight as soon as possible, and Dana White's like, nah, it's a liability. You need you to wait.
Right.
And he doesn't want to wait.
Right.
So there's a possibility that that's part of it too.
Right.
But again, I think this is a decision being made based on a short-term thing that in a year's time could fix.
Yeah.
Put in a different perspective.
Yeah.
So I don't know that he is actually gone. I think he could be. But I think in a year from now, if he was suddenly booked on a card, I wouldn't be so very surprising either.
Yeah, just take some time. Like, no one's gonna. I feel like there's an enormous amount of pressure for him to return because of how successful he was in such a short amount of time. Mm-hmm. People can't get enough, and I think people think that eventually that he can be the one that can unseat Israel Adesanya, and people want that now. Like,
mm-hmm.
There are people who want someone to come up there and shake things up at middleweight and welterweight, and he's definitely one of those guys. But that's an enormous amount of pressure. It's like like fucking Frank Ocean. Like every year, everyone's like, release a fucking album, release an album, you son of a bitch. We're fucking waiting 4 years for you. They don't want to do that anymore. They want their product and they need it now. And
mm-hmm.
in a way for you to kind of like get out of that, at least in that luxury in fighting is like to get out of that pressure is just to be like, I'm retired. Stop bothering me. I'm retired. I'm not fighting.
Right.
Khabib's doing it right now. He's like, I'm retired, but he's like flirting with Dana every other weekend. Like,
yeah, right.
Dana takes me out to dinner every weekend now. This is great.
Which is a great place to be,
right?
In my opinion.
Right.
I had one more. Rip Alistair Overeem.
Yes.
But also long live Alistair Uberim.
Yes.
Because I have a hard time believing Ryzen isn't like in his inbox right now being like, yo, you want to kill some Asians?
Right.
We got Asians.
Or one championship, or Bellator, or I don't. Maybe not Bellator because Bellator's already locked in their heavyweight Grand Prix. Or I'm sorry, no, they're light. So maybe Bellator because that's a light heavyweight. That's 205 that they have.
Yeah.
They
Oh yeah, I
don't
guess he could be heavyweight.
yeah, him and JDS can both be heavyweights in Bellator. You know, like, and Scott Coker has like said it 1,000 times. I'm not going to be a retirement home, but like, you're not going to pass up on
But
JDS and
yeah, here's the problem: you keep becoming the retirement home. So
right, and it's very difficult to find heavyweights, and they're still good. So, I mean, they can go to heavyweights in Bellator and wax those guys for sure because they were like top 5 guys for the last 5-10 years.
Or make stars over there. Maybe they can't wax some of them, and then a no name becomes a household name because they just killed Alice Overeem.
Right. Who's allowed to take steroids now? In JDS. I want to see it. This is what we want to see. I like it.
What I want.
Give me what I want now. Yeah, I like that. So rest in peace to the long, awesome careers of Overeem and JDS in the UFC at the top echelons of the UFC. I don't think they've been below the top 10 the entire time they've been in the UFC. I know at least
that's
Overeem
probably
hasn't.
true, and I think that might be true because of a technicality. Because I think for a period of a not short period of that time, the heavyweight division had like 10 people in it.
True. Maybe I should.
That isn't to say that they weren't the best.
Yeah, they're still the best in the world.
But I think the heavyweight division was not in great shape before like 4 years ago.
I think up until last year, I think Overeem had been in the top 5 like his whole career.
I think that's probably true.
Something like that.
He came in, starts Lesnar, and was kind of just the number 5 or 6 guy the entire time after that.
Yeah. Shouts out to that. Yeah, he beat Lesnar's ass in a time that Lesnar.
He said I was going to beat Lesnar's ass. He's like, I'm not even thinking about Brock Lesnar.
He's like, we're on the same steroid cycles. Of course, I'm going to beat him. Okay, so then I guess we can get to the nitty gritty of the card. Before we get to the prelims, this is actually a stacked card front to end. Tim Elliott is going to open up, or going to be the last fight on the prelims, fighting Jordan Espinosa. The prelims has got Joseph Benavidez on it, Kai Kara France.
You mean like the super prelims?
Yeah, the super prelims. Song Yudong, which is like the best fucking name ever. I'm naming my kid Song Yudong. Dominic Cruz is going to be the last fight on the prelims, and then we jumped right to the main card. So let's just start breaking down the main card. We open up with light heavyweight Thiago Santos fighting Alexander Rakic. I think that's how you say his name. Rakic has been coming up recently. Who did he just recently KO'd like a big name guy? I'm pretty sure, right? Rakic. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
I don't know.
I hate that they just don't give me what I want. Just give me what I fucking want.
I know he's Austrian.
Oh yeah, he didn't KO him, but he beat the shit out of Alex Smith, unanimous decision. He KO'd Jimmy Manuwa, and those are his biggest fights so far. But he looked good in his last fight. He looked clean in his last fight. But Thiago Santos, I mean, my last memory of him is him going 5 rounds with John Jones and looking pretty fucking good. And some argue that he might have even beat John Jones.
And everybody's saying, yeah, he might have beat him.
Yeah.
I think maybe rumors of his hidden victory may have been overstated. But I think he looked great against John Jones. Better than most people look against John Jones.
And he was coming down from 185 going up, right? That was his first, that was one of his first fights going from 185 to 205.
Mm-hmm. And I think he had won prior, but this was for the belt, and it was kind of like a new. He had no, you know what? I think he fought Manuel at 205, and he fought Jan at 205 before he fought John Jones. So he had at least 2 fights.
Yeah, he KO'd Blachowicz, he KO'd Manuel, and he KO'd. This is 3 back-to-back. This is what got him that title shot. Right. And he KO'd Eric Anders in like a year's time.
Eric Anders, okay, I forgot about it.
Yeah.
But it was the loss to Glover that really sort of put the brakes on his momentum.
Yeah.
He got submitted like in the last round.
Yeah.
And it looked bad.
Yeah, he was. I mean, if I recall, he looked okay on the feet against Glover, but I think Glover was like,
and that looked like a decently close fight.
Yeah, it was pretty close.
It would not have been surprising if he won it by decision. He just never got that far.
Yeah, he just ran out of gas.
And I think he hasn't fought since. That was 8 months ago, maybe.
Yeah.
So he's in a. This is definitely like a need to get the wheels back on the cart fight. He's out here taking like cute couples, like maybe we're pregnant pictures with what's her name, Yana, who just got robbed again.
Yeah.
The poor girl can't get a break.
Yeah.
She can't beat the shit out of people hard enough, apparently.
Of course.
For the judges to not care. But I think this is a great opportunity for both of these fighters to like to make their name. I don't know that Thiago Santos is a name you can make in this scenario. Like, he's number 2 for a reason.
Yeah.
Even though he hasn't fought in almost a year.
I think it's more of like an opportunity if he does win, and let's say he spectacularly beats Rakic, for him to do like a call out, and then him to get like a contender spot, or to fight for a contender spot.
This would be a huge win for Rakic, though. This would be clearly, it'd be easily as big as a win.
Yeah. Yeah. And if he can do it convincingly too, obviously he's going to be the next in title contention to fight Jan. I mean, the UFC has like a really good way of like, kind of like foreshadowing what's possible. Like, who could be next in line? What's going to be the most concurrent memory in your brain in regards to what's going to happen in that division? So it's not a coincidence that Thiago has fought Jan and beat Jan. And in the hopes that Jan beats Israel, Thiago wins against Rakic. That's a possibility. Or if Rakic beats Santos and either Israel or Jan, that's the next fight to make, because there's not that many other people at light heavyweight that are above Santos. You said Santos was 2, right?
Yeah.
Who's number 1?
Who's number 1? That's a good question.
I don't know. But regardless, if you beat the number 2 guy and you're on the same card and the hype is there and you do something spectacular, then obviously the next thing is to put one of those guys into the fight next. If there isn't a crazy medical suspension or, whatever the case may be after. That seems to be like what they're doing. They're trying to build it. At the very least, they're trying to build the light heavyweight division so at some point it will make sense for them to be in contention.
Mm-hmm. And try to at least create multiple sort of threads.
Right.
Fighter-wise or character-wise.
Right.
So they have an alternative should something come up.
So should someone get hurt or whatever, COVID, they're building their the lure.
Yeah. So this next fight is full of dudes I don't know.
Islam Makhachev is a guy that is under Khabib's camp.
I think when they brought Khabib in, they just dropped all of Dagestan into like the bottom half of the rankings in UFC.
Right. Shouts out to that little Dagestani boy that punched that dude in the face on that little video that I saw circulating on the internet. Islam Makhachev is fighting Drew Dober. This is going to be a very good fight. I don't know if you've ever seen Islam fight before, but Islam's great.
I've seen Islam fight before.
Drew Dober.
He's just, allow me to sambo you to death.
Exactly. That's what he's here for.
I'm here for.
Drew Dober's been on a fucking
Drew Dober looks
tear.
like a pro wrestler, so I don't know anything about him other than that.
He fights out of Elliot Marshall's camp, actually, in Elevation in Colorado. He's really good. He's been on a fucking tear. I think his last loss was in 2019, and he got submitted. But since then, he's been on like a KO streak. I think there's 1, 2, 3. So he's had 3 KOs in his last 4 fights. He got subbed in one of them. But he's been spectacularly knocking these guys out. He beat Alexander Hernandez. He beat Nasrat Hakparas, who I only remember is because he's from Afghanistan and he was like cold cocking dudes to death. And I saw him fight live in, I think, on Colby Covington's card in Newark.
In Newark?
Yeah. But Drew Dober KO'd the fuck out of him. And then Alex Hernandez is it seems to be like the league's, that division's like punching bag. Like, it just seems like he's just getting beat up every fight. And he's like really good at it. But yeah,
beat up.
He's just like fucking top 5 all time getting beat the fuck up. Because I don't know. He's had so many fights. I think literally he's only getting these fights because he looks like a Greek god. Like, that's the only thing I can think of. Because let's look at his last few fights. He got beat the fuck up by Thiago Moise. He KO'd Chris Grutzmaker? Don't know who that is. Got knocked out by Drew Dober before that. Francisco Trinaldo beat him in 3 rounds. And before that, Donald Cerrone did that beautiful KO. Like, it's just been up and down. He's been very inconsistent. Regardless, though, that's going to be a very, very good fight. So everyone should tune into the Drew Dober and Islam Makhachev. Cormier and Khabib think that he's going to be the next lightweight champion. I mean, obviously he's an in-house guy, so of course they're going to like fucking champion their in-house guy.
Him, but
right.
Like, I don't think that's necessarily like wrong.
Right.
Like, could he be? Sure.
Right. Daniel Cormier says he thinks he's a better pure wrestler than Khabib is. So, and then obviously Khabib is gonna, first off, his fucking name is Islam, so like he's already on his way to pleasing Allah there, right? Am I right? And then the next one is the bantamweight fight, Peter Yan and Aljamain Sterling. I think this is the most excited I am for a fight of the 3 championship fights. Because it's the only one I really don't know what's going to happen. As far as, I know what both of them can do. I know this is why it's a great matchup. Like, obviously Aljo is like a great Division 1 wrestler. I think he's a Division 1 wrestler. He's a great wrestler. I'll just say he's a great wrestler. I'm not sure if he's a Division 1 wrestler. He's a very good wrestler. He's got a great camp. He's got skills on the feet. Very strong. He uses his length very well. They're both very big bantamweight fighters. They're not like what you would typically think of as a bantamweight fighter. Like, they're bantamweight fighter as far as like wide. I mean, the height makes sense. They're like 5'6", 5'7", but they're like very strong. They have like a lot of muscle. Peter Yan is like almost exclusively a Muay Thai expert. Like, that's pretty much all he does. Like, his takedown defense is pretty fucking good, and he's obviously ridiculously strong. But like, we know what he's gonna do. Like, he's gonna make you brawl. It doesn't matter what you try to do to wrestle him or all that other shit. But this is the first time that I think he's ever fought someone with the wrestling that Aljamain has in this youth setting. Like, he fought Uriah Faber, but Uriah was in his 40s, and he had beat like Ricky Simone on his comeback tour, and like he hasn't really been battle tested by a top 5 guy. And then he got that top 5 guy, and Peter Yan beat the fucking shit out of him. So it's like, between these 2 guys, I don't know who's gonna win. I'm rooting for Aljo because he's our New Jersey guy. He trains pretty much in the tri-state area. But I won't be upset if Peter Yan wins because I like his skill set. He's phenomenal. He makes every fight interesting to watch. I've not seen a fight that he's had that was not interesting to watch.
I think Peter Yan's like Muay Thai comes from a very like solid, like, I don't want to overstate by saying legendary, but Tiger Muay Thai is like legit.
He
it's
like
real
lives
deal.
there.
David Ludick, like fucking left leg killer, fucking Muay Thai shit going on over there. Roger Huerta, when he debuted, everyone remembers his flying knee out of the side because like that's the kind of shit they're on. They're on that like that Street Fighter 4 shit. Like, let's get it. Like Volkanovski, Bullet Valentina. That's the kind of Muay Thai they do.
Yeah.
Dan Hooker. I'm missing another big name, but like he is scary to stand in front of.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly where he feels comfortable.
And the scariest part of all that, put his skill aside, put his toughness aside, he keeps the same pace for 5 rounds. He does not stop. He does not relent.
Super conditioned.
Yeah. He'll
throw the same power roundhouse in the first minute of round 1, the last minute of round 5.
Yeah.
And that's important. That's an important factor against someone like Aljamain Sterling, who
sticks to you,
but also like throws wild like Tekken block string like like strikes. Like
right.
he loves his angles,
and
he has like early John Jones level, like can throw it from anywhere and can follow it up with anything. This is before you even get to the wrestling and before you remember that he's a black belt under Matt Serra in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So,
and his transitions between him on the feet and they're seamless. Like that's the scariest thing. Like when we watch him fight Cody Sandhagen, Cody's like, well, this is just going to be a Muay Thai fight because he's standing with me. Wrong. Gets him to the floor and just squeezes the soul out of him. And
he does that great thing that Frankie Edgar used to do, which is like seamlessly transform a striking match into a grappling match
Right.
before like anyone knew what happened.
Right.
Like you when you see jiu-jitsu guys, you almost assume that their striking is just a means to an end to get you on the ground in some form or fashion. And that is probably still true for Sterling, but Sterling, his Sterling striking can be also the end. And I feel like that was the key to Frankie Edgar's success was he is never not he can always finish it. And he's not always he's not like, Vitor Belfort or Damian Maia, who's using the striking to obviously get to some sort of grappling situation. He is also comfortable stopping the fight on his feet, but never use that as an analysis of weakness, as if he couldn't attempt a single leg out of like a crazy like leg check or something like that. Like there's always a fight. There's always an option.
Right.
With someone like Aljamain, and he has a Gumby, so like
yes,
and he wears a Dookie chain at weigh-in. So like I don't know what you want from me.
And he said that he was going to come on another man's ass.
Right, and with his chest.
With his chest.
He said that shit.
He said
hard.
with his chest, and then he like said pause. He's like pause, and everyone's like, "What is that?" It's too late. It's entirely. I'm coming on your ass. Wait a minute. I'm coming for that ass.
So, shout out to Uniondale, New York.
Yeah, I mean, on top of his actual skill, like, he's a fucking freak athlete. So, like, one of the reasons why it looks so smooth and like, the transitions look so good is because, he knows how to execute his skill set with his athleticism. Like, he's just got such a good mix of both. But Peter, I mean, like, he's going to stand in front of you, so, like, it's going to be interesting to see what happens when Peters is going to be forced to
the question is, like, does any of that matter? In front of someone who's looking for you to stand in front of him.
Yeah. Aljo's been knocked out before. Don't forget. People forget because he's been on this amazing run and he's been undeniably the bantamweight contender. But he's been KO'd before and he's 31 years old, so this is going to be a time where we get to see Aljamain Sterling's chin tested again. And I'm here for it. We're all here for it.
Also, didn't he won a fight 2 years ago with a submission I don't remember ever seeing live. I forget what it was called.
You want to fight Aljo?
It's like a hamstring stretch that you never see.
Yes. It was a knee bar. He got a knee bar on somebody.
It was like a knee bar, but it's like a different. It was like it's not a knee bar because of the angle you're attacking from. It's almost like a reverse knee bar, and I think it's called like a Suvlov or something.
Yes. And then the reason why I remember that is because someone did it again the same night.
Right.
Aljo did it, and then someone else did it the same night. Why can't
But if you imagine a knee bar is you sitting, at the waist, and you and your opponent are looking the same direction.
I think it's
imagine a knee bar, but it's instead of just sitting on the leg and pulling, you're like behind the person in like a seatbelt grip and pulling the leg from behind their body.
Right.
Like, it's dumb as hell. It never happens, so it's funny when it does.
Yeah.
It's like a can opener.
There's there's nothing that he could do either. Like,
you're just trapped.
He's locked up in pain.
If he has long enough arms, he can just pull, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, Aljamain Sterling has got some of this, probably the best submissions in leagues, at least bantamweight's history, as far as like execution and just like they just look painful. Like, they just look awful. Like, I saw him training before, and someone said on the training video that he takes a foam roller and just like chokes the foam roller, like just full tilt for like the last 20 minutes of practice. Like he's just sitting in the corner, just like trying to kill a fucking foam roller.
What you doing, man?
Right,
nothing. Choking this foam roller.
Just choking the shit out of a foam roller. Yeah, I love it. I think he beat Cody Stanman that way in 2018.
Yeah,
and that was Bellator 228. Let's see, and that Darren Woodley beat Darren Till. Was it Zabit? That got it? I think Zabit got it on Brandon Davis because he won by submission.
Shout out to Zabit.
Haven't seen him in a minute.
I'm surprised he's not going to show up in like bare knuckle fighting or something.
I just feel like that.
I'm sure he's still on contract, but like,
right,
if he wasn't, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. What's his name? Fucking Calvin Kattar, who recently got beat. in that 5-rounder. I think it was 5 rounds. Made him look human.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last time I remember seeing him fight. And then we have the co-main, Amanda Nunes versus, or is it Nunes? Amanda Nunes versus, I've circled this every time I say her name. Megan Anderson, which is like the whitest name in American history or Australian history.
In Australia, it's probably pretty standard in Australia.
Actually, probably like 50 Megan Andersons out there.
I am white.
And she's also a Twitch partner. So shouts out to Twitch.
She spent like a large time between the Cyborg fight being dissolved under mysterious circumstances, and now like Twitch streaming.
And they had made this Amanda fight before, and it got pushed back. I think because of COVID reasons. So
yeah, I think she could leave like Australia for a while.
No. And she kicked that poor woman's eye off. Remember that?
So she had kicked. I think this was like a string of like weird eye things that she was doing. Like Felicia Spencer, I think she kicked in the face.
Yeah.
But like the toe went directly in her eye.
Yeah,
no, that was Kat
the big
Zingano.
toe. The big toe like flicked her eye off.
She big toed her directly in Kat Zingano's eyeball
and exploded her fucking eye. That was crazy.
I think there was a weird like poke situation versus Holly Holm, but I think Holly Holm just beat her ass anyway.
Yeah.
So this is going to be tough for her, obviously.
Yeah.
As you say with anyone who's about to fight, maybe the best fighter to ever live.
Yeah.
I don't know. So the strategy obviously is to try to be 6 foot, which has been Megan's success through Invicta and in the UFC, with the exception of Holm. She likes to fight on the outside. She has pretty good lateral, or more importantly, like vertical sort of movement, like a karate guy. Mm-hmm. She's very good at throwing the straights, like, and turning on a dime, moving from back to forward very quickly, which is something like tall people, when they're really good, they when they're really good, they figure out a way to make up for that, because they usually, tall people almost learn to fight away. They almost learn to fight backwards.
You watch Izzy do it all the time. Like when he fought what's his name, Robert Whitaker. Like he was timing Robert Whitaker coming in.
Izzy does it. Jones for a while did it. What's his name? Anderson Silva's pretty famous for it. Fighting off the back foot.
Yeah.
Being a counter fighter in that way. She did a lot of that, but she's also pretty good at stepping forward and trying to not just goad someone into her space for a counterpunch, but to try to expand her space as well.
Right.
It's difficult. It's a difficult thing to learn, because you get comfortable doing the other thing because it works pretty well, pretty often. But at high level fighters, people who are really good at slipping and getting under like lines of sight and into centers of gravity and then up, like someone with the knockout power of Nunes and Cyborg, and like these small tight fighters who really want to do who want to get in and Mike Tyson you to death. Mm-hmm. It really does benefit knowing how to make your effective range and your dangerous striking zone as big as possible, and learn to not reactionarily sort of wait for people to come to you.
Right.
I just don't know. I think with all the work someone can do, trying to find a path to victory for her, that's something her camp has to work out, because I have no idea how she wins this fight personally. Mm-hmm. She has the most knockouts in the featherweight division. Now, there's only 2.
Right.
That is still a record.
Right.
She's also like vicious with stopping. She has like 3 very convincing stoppages.
Yeah.
And she's one of the most active featherweights. She's fought like 5 or 6 times, which is not the case for other featherweights. So she's definitely game.
Yeah.
But
she's got the checklist for why she should be there. You know, like it makes sense that Megan's here.
Question why she's there.
Yeah.
I think the question becomes, does it matter?
Right.
Because
it's Amanda.
Amanda's been on a tear of tears.
The big thing that everyone is saying, in my opinion, is, will Megan stands a chance because of her size in her frame. And I'm like, well, man, she's not that much taller than Amanda is, but people keep fucking forgetting that she's got those chimpanzee arms that touch the floor. It really might not make that much of a difference, like, as far as reach advantage. You know, she might have the height advantage that might help her in some areas of leverage. People sleep on Megan Anderson's ability to grapple. I do think her jiu-jitsu is pretty fucking good. Her last 2 fights have been submissions, and she's saying that's mostly what she's been working on. And I think that might be in preparation for her fight with Amanda Nunes. You know, hopefully she
purple belt.
Yeah,
she's legit.
Yeah, Amanda's a black belt. I'm pretty sure, right? Fairly positive she's a black belt. So they might, you know, purple belt's great. But, you know, there's fucking levels to this shit.
There is, but I think they're at least a black belt. A purple belt has not seen something a black belt can do. A black belt is just better at doing the things that they're probably both accustomed to at this point.
Right, and in MMA, you're able to compensate with that jiu-jitsu by punching somebody in the face. So,
I think where, like you mentioned, the reach advantage. Like Amanda's what 5'9", maybe 5'9". She has like 70-inch reach though.
Right.
And
got the John Jones arms.
Anderson's got like a 72-inch reach, so it's like not really that's not a big deal, really.
Right. The only
inches can be, but it's
the only thing that I think that would give Anderson the edge is her kicks in forms of length. Where the length of her arms might be the same, she can still put her head in a safer spot to throw kicks from outside. You know?
I think the kicks are step 2. I think step 1 is to be first in their exchanges, because you're going to want to, like, the idea is you want to stay away from Amanda and not let her swing clean. That's true. But what you really need to do is stop her from swinging at all.
Yeah.
Or swinging strong at all.
Or get out of the way. Simply get out of the way. If you don't want to be knocked unconscious, get out of the way. Be the Floyd Mayweather of the UFC. Let everyone call you a runner. Whatever you got to do. Don't let her land first. Because if she lands first, that's it. That's the end of the fight.
And don't let her feel confident in swinging again without knowing that she's going to take something on the way in and on the way out. Maybe you don't stop her from hitting you. Or maybe you can't stop her from like attempting to hit you, swinging and coming in, but you have to let her know it's not free.
Right.
That is like the thing that I've always learned, and I've only ever seen people like who are like tall people fighting short people ever teach, is that like they have to take a lot of effort to get it to you. So they're gonna try to make it worth it every single time.
Right.
So you gotta make sure it's not free, and let them know it's not free when they come back and try again.
Right.
So on the way in or on the way out, preferably both, she should not be swinging without a fist in her face.
Right.
Even if you miss, she has to know it's dangerous.
Right.
And that takes a bit of like bravery. Like you have to like recognize that, she might then hit you.
This is the thing, and I'm sure that's what you're describing is like a fundamental. And I think all the coaches have described that before fighting Amanda, and it just doesn't make a difference because everyone
she does hit you.
And everyone has the same face. Everyone has got the same. Oh fuck! Like there's no way you can prepare unless you are fighting a grown man. There's no way to like fully prepare for Amanda Nunes' power. Everyone's got the same fucking face as soon as they make the that whole find some bravery goes right out the fucking window. Holly Holm had the same face. What's her name? Felicia Spencer had the same face. Everybody had the same face when they were touched by Amanda. And it's just that raw animal strength she has, and she's on top of the raw animal strength. She's very precise. She's right on target. So not only do you feel it, you feel it in the right place.
I think that's what beats Cyborg.
Yeah.
Is she knew she was going to be hit, but she made sure that Cyborg knew that she was also going to be hit, but she was just way more accurate than Cyborg.
Yeah.
Cyborg's gotten off for years not having to be accurate because she just needs to hit once.
Right.
So she just swings a lot.
Even if it's just on the guard, it's enough to like turtle them up. You know what I mean? Like they get turtled up when they even inside of their own guard.
But the last time I've seen her lose, Amanda, was middle of last decade, and Kat Zingano beat her this very way.
Right.
Just hit her with elbows every time she came in.
Right.
And one of them rocked her, and that's all she needed. Now, you have to put your whole ass on the line for that to happen, obviously, because she's a way better, way stronger, way more precise fighter than she was in 2014 or whatever. But there is no winning. That you don't win this cleanly or pretty. This is not going to be a pretty fight.
No.
If win or lose, this is not going to look great.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to like get it, like really die for this shit. It feels like.
Yeah, to your point, like it seems like the only way you can possibly beat her is if you drag her into a dogfight, and that's not fun because it's Amanda Nunes. But that seems to be
win the dogfight.
Yeah, you got to win the dogfight. You got to weather the storm, and that or you get into a grappling battle with her, and your jiu-jitsu is just so good it forces her to not have to worry about punching you in the head anymore. But the problem is if she's on top of you on the floor, it's just as bad as on if she's on the feet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be that's gonna be an interesting fight to see. I mean, we all pretty much know, but I will say this: we don't fucking know anything because I thought Dustin Poirier was gonna get fucking killed by Conor McGregor. You know what I mean? I thought there's a long list of maybe we get to see some calf kicks from Megan this time.
What I'm interested in, because I really don't think she wins this fight, but I am interested to see how she approaches the fight, because if she just wants to scrap with her, I think if she scraps with her and loses, I think that is a win professionally.
Mm-hmm.
Than if she kind of skates and loses by decision,
right?
Trying to pick her, like trying to play a more tactical game,
right.
Which is a smarter move. Let's be clear, like don't get fucking CTE to impress Dana White,
right?
Like. Not important, especially since she's clearly stacking other things in her life. Twitch partner, she's a UFC commentator for a lot of the international stuff. Like,
and Invicta
clearly
too.
She's got a life she's working on outside of this,
right?
So don't die for this shit. But if she comes in here trying to die for some shit, I think that's going to be a very impressive thing for her.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't do that.
No.
Like Amanda's last 3 fights, people trying to like box her, like be smart about this, and just get smoked. So. Right. I'm very curious.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's definitely going to be a fun way to enjoy that fight. And then obviously we have our main event, Izzy and Jan. And I've been watching the Embedded on Jan. And don't quote me, but I'm fairly positive that Jan found a body hanging or something like that in the woods. I don't know what he was doing. That's just some Polish shit in the woods. And then...
he was like, yes, I will be fighting.
It was hilarious because... His reaction, he even said it was a stupid question. He asked if he was okay, and he just obviously didn't respond because he was fucking dead. And he's like, in hindsight, not a very smart question. And I was like, God damn it, Jan. I'm falling in love. I fell in love with his skill and his power as of recently after he fucking shit stomped Dominic Reyes. But him as just a person, just his personality. I just love his personality. He's very jovial. He's very nice. He's like what you imagine like you want to have a European friend. If you're gonna have a European friend, you hope it's Jan. He's like very stereotypically European. Like, I love it. He's got a kid, he's got a wife, but for some strange reason, the police when he was there, they obviously reported it, and they came, and it's like some weird old Polish tradition. I don't know if it's a Polish tradition. If you found someone that hangs them, very specific, that hangs themselves, you have to you take the rope for good luck. Or some shit like that. So he's got the rope that guy hung himself with.
For good luck.
For good luck, he's like, I've had it for the last 2 fights and I haven't lost, so I'm going to keep it. So it's very strange. And he put like
does
these.
Does he wrap it in his glove? Like, what does he just keep?
He says he touches it before the fight.
Oh,
very strange. Okay. Someone's bloodied neck.
Yeah, Poland's doing fine.
Yeah, Poland's doing
great.
Nothing
wrong with Poland.
the old rope neck hanging gag. Am I right? But fucking, I love him. Aside from that weird, out of place moment and the almost Disney like approach that UFC has been trying to bolster this guy up and see, like he's like a nice, lunch pail kind of guy.
Just a fucking weird guy.
He's psychotic. He's just got the fucking memorabilia. He might have killed that guy, and that's like his fucking serial killer trophy.
His trophy. Fucking Dexter over here.
Right. I love it. No, all jokes aside, he's like fun. I don't have a dog in the race. Obviously, like I like Israel Adesanya. I love John, but I wouldn't mind if John won. It's just a great, there's like the implications to this fight is greater than them just fighting each other. Obviously, Izzy moving up to 205 and beating the champion. If he beats the champion and he's the double champ, he's obviously going to be one of the greatest middleweights that have ever existed. On top of his skill level of going up and beating Jan, who's like he's not a pushover. Like Jan is like, on top of him being a raw, powerful guy, like he's a very interesting striker and he's a good grappler. So it's not he's not there for no reason. He's not the champion for no reason. So for him to go up in a weight class that he's not really like, he's talking about being underweight. He says that he might be 193, 195 pounds come weigh-in time. And Jan looks like he's 250 pounds coming down to 205. So, people might not know this. I didn't know this until I watched The Embedded, but Israel has gone up to heavyweight in boxing and kickboxing before, so it is something that he is familiar with. He doesn't have to do a weight cut. He says he's not been doing extra things to get his weight up. He's been keeping everything the same. So he's going to come in there at a cool 200 pounds, or maybe even a little bit under, maybe a little bit over, whatever the case may be. So he's going to be the true 205-pound guy out there. While Jan, who's like this raw, powerful, light heavyweight, is going to be a fucking giant gorilla in there. So we're going to really get to see like technique versus raw power. And Jan, I don't know the last time he's been KO'd. I can look it up. I can see. I don't know if he's ever been KO'd before, to be honest with you. But I've seen him get into some dogfights before, and he seems to have a chin of granite. He beat Dominic. He beat Corey Anderson. He beat Ronaldo Sosa. He beat Luke Rockhold.
Actually, I think Santos.
Yeah, Santos knocked him out third round.
TKO'd him,
Never
right?
mind. Yeah. That was his. It looks like one of his very few losses that have been in finishes. That was his only one.
The Czech Republic.
Oh.
I think I remember that fight.
Yeah.
Because that was the first time I think I remember seeing him.
Yeah, Jan has beat just about every light heavyweight that's like really good. But yeah, some of them twice. But yeah, that's his only KO, and that was at the hands of fuck, what was his name? I just had it. What the fuck? That's not it. I just had it.
What, him being KO'd?
Yeah, I literally
his
just
only TKO was Thiago Santos.
Yeah, Thiago Santos, right? And then like that's Thiago Santos we're talking about. You know what I mean? Like that's not.
You know what? I think I have seen him fight before. He fought Sukaju like back in like 2010 or some shit.
Gotcha. Yeah, he's been around for a while, and this is his time, and it's a good matchup. I mean, but like, I people are really 50-50 down the line. I really can see Jan knocking Israel Adesanya out. Like I could see it. Like it's completely possible because it's not like when people like when Robert Whittaker was fighting Israel Adesanya, like he was landing.
Yeah, I think like we draw the comparison from Izzy to maybe Anderson Silva and John Jones a lot, but I think the difference between Izzy and those other two is he gets hit way more often.
Oh yeah, like he
Izzy
gets hit
a lot.
He gets hit for sure. I mean, and Izzy's been knocked out before too. In kickboxing, that guy that knocked him out is still in Glory Kickboxing, and I think he's like trying to planning on making a jump to MMA at some point.
Yeah, Wilness, I think his name is.
Yeah,
he's a Polish guy, I think. Maybe that's his weakness.
That's his weakness, the Polish guys.
But I think he's also demonstrated sort of like another level sort of interaction with striking. He strikes in the Matrix sometimes.
Yeah.
And it isn't always like he isn't like consistently sort of every minute, every round like out here looking like Neo, but sometimes he gets on stretches where you're like, you can't even touch this dude right now.
Yeah.
For the next 30 seconds, this dude's like heating up like fucking NBA Jam.
Right.
And I think that's all he really needs is like a tear where Jan gets like rocked a little bit and you can just capitalize. But yeah, I don't, Jan's he's clearly become this dude that like he's like a walking sort of fighting statue. Like you'll hit him. You'll see him turn red because he's, terribly pale, but you won't see him react really.
No,
like he got hit and he recognizes that he got hit, but there's no hesitation or no real like processing of the damage after that. He's just kind of there to hang out, and like in the most serious, threatening way possible.
Right. Given his only loss, his only TKO or KO. To Thiago Santos. Thiago Santos is largely a Muay Thai striker on the feet. So, if there's an edge given to anybody, if he struggles with technical strikers like Thiago Santos, Israel is like 10 times better than Thiago Santos is. So, that's why this fight's so interesting, because we know that it's possible to knock either one of these guys out, right? the possibility exists. You could say that about any fight, but with Jan, it's extremely hard to believe because of his size and how big he is and how much damage he can take. And for Israel, we know how difficult it is to touch him, even though he does, have those little inklings. But if you go back and watch that Kelvin Gastelum fight, Kelvin Gastelum just used straight up boxing, fucked him up. Like he didn't kickbox Israel Adesanya. He went in there and he just, kind of like Mike Tyson style, closed the distance and hit him inside with hooks and caught him on the outside with those hooks. So it is entirely possible. The question is, for Jan, is one punch enough to put Israel away? And when, and we're going to be anticipating as a viewer when that one hit's going to come. And for Israel, it's going to be, is he going to piece him up for 5 rounds or is he going to hit him with some, Paulo Costa shit? We know we can put meatheads away, but this is going to be the biggest human being that he's ever fought in the UFC. I'm fairly positive. As far as weight-wise goes, I think he fought Derek Brunson. Derek Brunson's 6'3", but he's not necessarily the biggest guy. You know what I mean? Like, as far as, like, mass. Like, Jan's going to be, like, the thickest fucking stump of a human being that he's fought that is over 6 feet tall. Paulo Costa is, like, 5'9", I think. 5'10". And Yoel Romero's, like, 5'8", conservatively. So, this is going to be the biggest lunk of a human being that he's fought in recent memory.
And I wonder how often he trains with large people. Like most of these fighters have big fight camps full of people in all different sort of weight classes and shapes and sizes, and they all train together. But I wonder how many looks he's gotten from someone who's a 205er. Who's just real strength, and maybe not even just strength, but literal size. Like I wonder how much work he's been doing there.
I watched the embedded of Jan and Israel. They both have bought pretty serviceable guys to spar with and train with that are emulating one person to the other. So for Israel Adesanya, obviously that's going to be the more difficult find to find someone that emulates Israel Adesanya because he's his own fighter. For Jan, I feel like it's going to be a little bit easier because you can find powerful, precise guys anywhere in the league to train with. But what you can't emulate, in the same case for Amanda Nunes, is their power and when it lands and how precisely it lands. So that's going to be, they're both healthy. They're both geared in. I don't know what their weight's at. I think they weigh today in, right? They're supposed to weigh in today.
Yes.
If they're not doing it right now, at this very moment.
It might be happening currently. Actually, now that I think about it.
Let's check that bitch out. Let's see if it's on here. UFC. Yeah, it's going on right now.
If Joe Benavidez looks to push this fight, into 15 minutes territory and get this guy to work.
VT Sports. But yeah, they're. Oh wait, okay. So is he weighed in already? He weighed in 42 minutes. So let's see what weight he's at. This is the DraftKings ad.
Moving up to challenge.
Israel Sadia comes out with a fucking pizza. God damn it. On the scale, he has the pizza while he's being weighed. What's his weight?
Hungry.
He looks great. He did the fucking Italian meme. And what was the weight?
Enough.
Yeah, obviously it's not a problem. I'm just curious to see what it was though.
Heavyweight champion.
200 pounds, on the doubt, basically.
200 pounds?
Yeah. And then let's see what Jan is at. $205 on the dot. So just about how everyone predicted, Israel is going to be under, and Jan is going to just make the 205 mark. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm excited.
Yeah, I doubt there's going to be a rush to make him to reinflate Izzy either. He's probably just going to be 200 pounds when he walks in.
Right.
Plus pizza.
I'm excited. Prediction?
I think safe money is on Izzy, but again, I think we both agree That it is not cut and dry here.
Question though, before we close off, is it an upset if Jan beats Israel Adesanya?
Yes. Is it actually like in a skill set level? I think that's debatable.
Yeah.
But I think we all have created an understanding and a recognition that Izzy is like the star moving up. And I think Izzy has had a better, past 4 years than Jan has. He's had a better past 2 years than Jan has, and he's beaten bigger names. I don't know that Izzy's wins are over dudes that are necessarily better than Jan.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know that anyone's even asking those questions either, because it doesn't really matter. I think when we recognize these people to be good, and then someone beats them, we just know that they're better now. Like, could Jan beat Paulo Costa? I have no idea.
Probably.
I'm interested currently, but I have no idea. Could Jan beat Yoel Romero? No idea. Both of those two fighters are big enough to probably fight in 205 if they wanted to, though. So,
well, fucking Yoel is. He's gonna fight in the 205
right
bracket.
in that eliminatory thing.
Yeah, against their other star that they have. Fuck, what was his name? Oh, fucking Rumble. He's fighting Rumble the first round of the tournament. It's a terrible idea, but I'm here for it though. So here we go.
Yeah, I mean that's just fun for me.
Yeah.
I'll watch that fight and not watch the rest, but yeah, I think it's just optics. Yeah, I think it's clearly an upset because people will be talking about Jan differently afterwards.
I disagree. Mainly because of the fucking weight difference between the two of them. I think it's way more difficult for Izzy to go from 185 to 205 and to fight Jan, who's so battle tested, who's so strong, going to be probably one of the strongest guys that he's ever faced. It's gonna be very interesting to see how the style plays out. If Jan beats Israel Adesanya, I don't look at that as an upset. I look at it as more as something like a fucking big dog, like defending his belt. Like I think Israel Adesanya has the opportunity to leave a stamp at 205. But the problem is I've never seen him fight in the UFC at 205 before. So I don't know how he looks against other 205ers. This is his first one is going to be the top shelf guy. Jan's there for a very specific reason, and it's not only because he beat Thiago. I'm sorry, not Thiago. Who did he beat? He beat Luke Rockhold. He beat. Let me look at his fucking record real quick. Dominic Reyes. He beat Dominic Reyes, beat Corey Anderson, and he beat Luke Rockhold. And Ronaldo Sosa. So, I mean, that's a murderer's row of people, and, it's not like they were all at the ass end of their careers. Like, Dominic Reyes was like the guy that everyone would he beat everyone. I had him beating John Jones 3-2. He kills him. He kills Dominic Reyes. Corey Anderson is, he's been a top 10 guy for as long as he's been in light heavyweight, I'm pretty sure. Kills that guy. Luke Rockhold, coming from 185, a position that Israel's doing right now, going up to 205. People felt like that was a better move for him. Wrong, KO'd. So, he's beating these phenomenal athletes, and he's doing it handily, and I just think I think it's more difficult for Izzy to go from 185 to 205. Honestly, I think it's more of a pressure on him to go and perform against a bigger guy.
I wonder if it is though, like, because pressure requires him to feel that he can't lose. Mm-hmm. And since, I think in a way, like, as far as raising your brand and raising your worth and your stock just kind of in the ether is concerned, yeah, the pressure is for you to win because you don't want to be the person who moved up to be a double champion and didn't, because everyone else who has did. But on the other end, it doesn't seem like he is taking it he's not finding it to be very difficult at all. Like he's not putting on a lot of weight. He's like, I'm just going to not cut then. He weighed in at 200 pounds. Like, it doesn't seem like he feels like the pressure is here. That might change after he tries to push Jan off of him during the fight, but I don't think we'll know that until it happens. Like, I think the in order to really gauge the pressure, it has to look like he's under pressure, and I don't think he is finding this to be difficult at all.
Right.
Now, if he walks out and gets starched in like the second round because he's 50 pounds lighter than Jan, then maybe that might be an issue.
Right.
But I don't think we'll know that till they fight. As of right now, like, I think Jan has more to lose here because he still needs to establish himself as the champion in that division. Like, he just won. He hasn't defended it yet.
Yeah.
And that's not his fault. He took the bigger fight for his career, which is to fight, Izzy. If he beats Izzy, that's a way bigger statement than if Izzy beats him, in my opinion.
Mm. Fair.
And really, he's kind of freshly the champion, where Izzy's been defending for a while. Like,
it's true.
I think they're a different level star here.
Izzy. No one. People might have questions about who he's fought, or if questions about if 205 is a good jump for him. The one thing you cannot question is how often he's fought. I mean, the guy's he's 20-0, and I think he's had over half of those fights in the last 2 years.
Yeah. Like,
so
2008, 2017 or 18 has been most of his fights here, and it's difficult to take that away. It's not like he's dodging. He's not dodging anyone.
No, he's taken every opportunity. He's fought every opportunity.
He's fought basically every contender in middleweight.
Although, I will say it's a little peculiar that John Jones leaves, and he wouldn't fight him at 205 before, and now he's at 205 now. It's a little peculiar, maybe a little dodgy, a little draft dodgy there.
It's a little dodgy, but I don't necessarily think that's a terrible decision by Izzy. I think the question is there's no pressure for him to fight John Jones necessarily, because what does that do for him? Like, this started when he won the middleweight championship in like 2019-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Fighting, like, going from middleweight, winning the belt immediately, running up to 205 and fighting John Jones would be a mistake for him. Like, defend this belt, clear this division, be a superstar first, and then go fight John Jones. Because to him, could it be like, I just want to prove that I'm better than him? Mm. That could be part of it, but also, like, I want to make this the biggest fight it could possibly be.
Of course.
Do you think it's I'm sure someone was in his ear saying, "Listen, we could fight him now. We can fight him 3 years from now, and you can just keep talking shit on Twitter and make this a thing."
Well, he's not getting any younger though. I think Izzy's 30, right?
Izzy's 30, 31, something like
31?
that.
31. So does he have 2-3 years to wait? Does John Jones even going to be here? I think someone has. You got to ask John Jones that question. Does he have 2-3 years to wait? Right.
And can he stay out of trouble for 2-3 years? Because
I'm surprised nothing's come up.
Like, demonstrably no, which is why I think also the waiting game benefits Izzy, because John Jones can't get his head out of his ass long enough to, like, make something happen over the course of 2 years.
He did play a little he did his due diligence. When he fucked up with the stripper and the choking or whatever, he was stopping Black Lives Matter protesters from vandalizing his home.
It's like, I need to mobilize my New York militia with guns.
The fucking Avengers, the Jack Wink Avengers.
What if we were just cops? What if I love cops? Don't worry about strippers.
I love cops now.
I love cops more than love.
I'm sorry, not the stripper, the DUI, because he got a DUI.
Oh yeah, DUI like a year after.
Yeah.
The stripper thing just disappeared.
Yeah. That
don't worry
stopped.
About that.
Whatever. She's like, who cares?
That's a fake stripper.
She's not even real.
That's a plant, industry plant.
It was a trap all along. John Jones is looking much heftier. Not in a bad way, but I saw him hitting pads, and he's definitely carrying the power for sure.
He's living in heavyweight now.
Yeah.
He's not just transitioning now; he's a heavyweight.
I'm excited to see what happens there as well. I think it's not set in stone, but the winner of it's supposed to, was it Francis Stipe? Mm-hmm. I think the winner of Francis Stipe is supposed to get John Jones. I would like to see him fight someone before that, though. I would like to see him fight.
I'd like to see it too. I just don't know that he's actually going to.
No, I don't think he would. Like the same reason why Izzy just jumped right up to the championship. Like, why would he?
Right.
Go through the murderer's row of heavyweight, or not even the murderer's row. It's not even that they have a murderer's row. It's just a matter of like the
why
margin.
Expose yourself to the heavyweight division.
Right. The margin of error is so high. Like, why expose yourself when you can win the title and then if you win the title, then you can take the onslaught of people and establish your name that way. And fight the John Jones way, which is like leg kicks from outside, and with the last 2 years at least, leg kicks from outside, so you can't walk, and then we just win by points. But Yeah, he did some jaw jacking with what's his name? Cyril Gain and Jarizio Rosenstruck, because people said
Rosenstruck I saw.
it was a little bit of a I consider it a dud not because of the display of skill. Like what I know what happened. Rosenstruck respected Cyril Gain's power and his technique, which is looked like it was like eons above his. And didn't want to push the pace like he normally does in fear of getting knocked out. And Cyril's like, well, if you're going to do that, I'm just going to do what Israel Adesanya does, and that's just pick you apart from outside. I'm going to leg kick the fuck out of you, and I'm going to jab you in the face, which is what he did all fight. Which is
I have to chase you. If
right?
You know I'm going to hurt you.
Right. It was masterful in its own right, but people really felt like it was because they're both finishers. Those two guys are usually when they go out there, they finish people, and then I guess when you see, we saw it with Derek Lewis and Francis Ngannou. Like they get a little gun shy when you get someone about your size and your strength and power level. Cyril's a little wild for thinking he's going to get a title shot this fast after that performance against someone who is like much smaller than he is. But John Jones said when Daddy gets home, basically, fucking, you're not going to be able to do that. I'm going to push the pace. So that's going to be interesting to see. I would like to see him fight somebody in the heavyweight division.
I would like to see John Jones fight Derek Lewis.
That would be fucking
Not because
great.
I think that'd be a good fight, which I think it actually might be.
Could be.
I just think it'd be a very funny press tour.
Oh yeah. They might actually just befriend each other and just go.
Yeah, they might end
up being start doing coke with each other, having a good time, finding Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, listen. I got her address. We can go.
We can go. But John, that's sexual assault.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means. And they'll just move the venue somewhere else.
Did I tell you who I am?
Oh, speaking of which, one more thing before we get out of here. I'm sorry. Dana White has more or less said that he's going to have his next event at either Houston, because Dallas is off the board. So it's going to be interesting to see. I don't know if they have. I think they have a card a month out from now that doesn't have a destination. Would be cool to see if they threw Derek Lewis in there to fight somebody.
Yeah, hometown hero.
Yeah, maybe Jarizio Rosenstruck.
And he keeps coming out of the edge of obscurity in thunderous fashion. So
or Cyril Gain.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight.
Because Cyril didn't take really any damage because he controlled the fight, and Derek Lewis is an animal. So I would love to see them fight in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So things to look forward to. Possibly all of the UFC getting wiped out by COVID, because you can pretty much guarantee.
Let's all run to Florida and Houston.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Do you have anything else? Are you streaming? Are you writing? Let me know what's going on in the world of Jarrett. Let the world know what's going on in the world of Jarrett today.
I don't know. What am I doing? Probably playing video games.
I might do the same thing. I've been I found my PS3. I have it right here, actually. All the way from high school. And
I got a homie hooked me up with a PS5 that'll be in my possession in the middle of April.
Fucking awesome.
And I got it for market price.
Nice. You didn't have to give a guy a hand job in a gas station bathroom and pay somebody $2,000 to get it.
I don't. I think I just happen to have the right friends who are probably also just bot trolls who are. I think he was going to just
scalp it,
aftermarket scalp this, but instead, since we're homies, he gave me the right price.
That's pretty awesome.
So you know what? Fuck scalpers, unless they're your friend.
Unless I directly benefited from it in some way.
Correct. If the algorithm's working for me or with me,
yeah,
I love the algorithm.
I think I love the algorithm. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stream Metal Gear Solid, the first one. I've been wanting to play it for so long, so I unearthed the PlayStation, and now I got to find all the other stuff for it now.
Which version of the first one are you going to play?
Well, Twin Snakes is only on GameCube or an emulator, so I'm just going to play the PlayStation Metal Gear Solid.
Didn't they? That bundle that they redid remastered, is that not Twin Snakes?
No, I don't, because Konami. It wasn't the studio. Konami had no affiliation with the remake. It was some other.
Yeah, Konami didn't have.
The director
was the guy who did.
It was bad though.
Yeah, Dennis Dyack was the director of that. He would go on to make that really bad techno Viking game that was like a launch title for the Xbox 360. And then he made a really bad Spider-Man game.
Carrie Murray.
It's
Silicon Knights developed the game, and I guess they bought the rights from Konami to develop it for GameCube.
Right.
And they used
Twin Snakes is just gonna be like lost in like an island.
Yeah, as it should
until
be.
Until they remaster it again.
Well, I just want them to do it right. I don't want them to do what the fuck they did before. Like, it was stupid before. I don't want them to do that again. The voice acting was terrible. The sound was bad. The only thing that was good about it was the literal gameplay, which you can argue it's a video game. Like, that's what you're playing it for. But for me, the sound, the soundtrack, you know, the way it played, all that stuff from the original was just far superior, which is hilarious because the second game looks far superior to the first game. The remake rather looks so much better than the first game. Mm-hmm. But I still enjoy the original way more. For nostalgic reasons, but for quality reasons too, which is funny to say because it looks like polygons, like fucking boxes.
Snake does not have a face.
Looks like Minecraft.
Headband,
right?
And like a mouth hole.
Fucking Metal Gear Minecraft. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna finish that game tonight after I post this. The stream's been a little fucked up recently because I don't know why, but I updated everything and I didn't have any problems, and it looks like we're not gonna have any issues with this one. So I'm not even really gonna shorten this one up. I'm just gonna throw it up there, and I'll make like a highlight thing, put it up on Instagram and YouTube as well. But that's it. That's all we got today. Peace, love, and gap. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Jarrett, follow at Jarrett at JarretTTJAWN. Jarrett John. That's on Instagram. Is your Twitter handle the same thing?
Yep, everywhere.
Okay. I feel like when you post on Twitter, it's a different name every time.
Just the display name's different.
Oh,
the
okay,
ad's the same.
Okay.
Which is confusing to everyone, especially people who want to like reach out to me and like possibly offer me like work. They're like, who the fuck is this person?
Just change it every week.
Which is why I changed my actual avatar to my face.
Right.
So at least the face is the same.
Right. Yeah. You gotta keep the employers on their toes, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can follow me at Peach Daddy on Instagram, PeachDaddie. Someone already took Peach Daddy, so I had to improvise. I'm the better Peach Daddy though, and you know what? I'll challenge him to a fucking fight. I challenge the first Peach Daddy to a fucking fight for that handle. Winner takes all. And then I get
all? Just one handle?
Yeah, I take the handle. I take all that handle.
I take all that
of that handle. Yeah, but that's it. I may or may not be involved in a smoker on April 3rd. So we'll see what happens there.
Where at?
There's a UFC gym in New Jersey. Yeah, Frankie Edgar's.
I might also be there.
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious.
Because we have dudes working to fight in the next Art of War and like a kickboxing thing in June, I think is the idea.
In August,
but we all got the same invitation, I think.
Right. We're all going into Mortal Kombat Island and fighting in Mortal Kombat Island, aka New Jersey.
Yeah, North Jersey is Mortal Kombat Island.
It is Mortal Kombat Island.
So,
shouts out to Pork Roll. That's it, y'all. I'll see you later. Au revoir, arrivederci, bon voyage. Have a nice trip.